Everybody, and welcome to a brand new Let's Talk ESO. Today I'm being joined by Killermech, or Bone Slack as his tank character's name is, and we're going to talk a little bit about the game and some of the things about the game, correct? Yes. So, I have a question. What do you like, or what do you like, yeah, what do you like about ESO over the other MMOs that are out on the market?
Personally, I prefer Elder Scrolls simply not limited. As in, you could be a spellcaster in whatever type of armor. You don't have to go with necessarily what called an med ability.
Mm-hmm.
You could do all types of crafting, not just kind of like WoW, how you're only
Yeah, you're not as restricted.
class. Yeah,
Right.
there's less restriction.
Yeah, that's one of the definite aspects of the game that I definitely enjoy is the limit. You're almost unlimited on what you can
The
do.
story mode's also good.
Yeah,
Just running through regular first time. After like 3 or 4 times, so
yeah, I agree. It gets a little like numbing, mind numbing.
oh yeah.
So,
But all the zones are still pretty big.
right.
Every time you run through them, you see something that you didn't see before.
Right. Well, it was like that one you were talking about that one time. You saw like a skeleton, and you had found a skeleton or something, and that you had never seen before. And I was like, oh, I never seen that either. So.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, now, besides those kind of things, I mean, when it comes to the things that the game offers and what it doesn't offer, what would you like to see them do to the game to make it, more to something you would like? Like, what kind of things would you like to see added?
Personally, I would really like them to add jewel. That's the biggest.
The what?
Jewel crafting.
Oh, jewelry crafting. Yeah, I agree. That's one thing that it's one of the aspects of the game that it's missing, and I do see why a lot of people want it, but I can also see why they haven't added it, because if you think about it, if they added, it's going to give people too much freedom to craft certain things. I mean, I would love to craft a Julianus jewelry set. That would be awesome, or something.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. There's some certain things in it that it would be good for, but I can see why they haven't done it too, because it would put too much power in the player's hands for when, like, the minimaxing aspect.
Yeah.
Think about how many people would craft arcane jewelry, just to get those benefits of the arcane set, or to get the benefits of a healthy set, or or an endurance set, or a stamina set, robust set.
Yeah. Which they don't even have to do it to that aspect where you craft a set.
Right.
As long as they could at least just add to where you can brew the jewel.
Yes.
That
like
would actually make
improve
a
the
lot.
quality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I agree with. That would be something that would help immensely, because I mean, even with basic minimaxing in the game, like with what me and you do, because we don't do the minimaxing like a lot of the minimaxers do, or the high-end builders do. We minimax our characters to be effective and efficient, mostly, and that's where we leave it.
Yeah.
So what about what other kind of things would you like to see added besides jewelry crafting?
Another thing that would be kind of cool would be they came out with like a 2-man trial / arena.
Like,
Instead of doing the normal game thing.
oh, you mean
Like Dragon Star's 4-man, and
Mhm.
then you have Maelstrom Arena's only single
right?
solo, and then you have 12-man trials. Maybe just come out with a trial where you have like a duo trial.
Right. Oh, yeah, that would be cool. I think I see where you're coming from. What I'd like to see, honestly, is like them to take the content of the game that we have, like the dungeons and trials, and just convert it to where it could be played with any group size. Like if you want to do a trial, it would do it on a 4-man. You could do a 4-man trial, and it would just convert the difficulty to meet that of a 4-man group. I think that would be something that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like a
'Cause that is kind of one of the things that's hard to get into.
yeah.
12-man trials. If you're not in a guild that does 12-man trials,
Yeah,
It's not in the dungeon.
it's not in the dungeon finder thing, kind of like we have
Yeah,
where you can queue for a dungeon. They don't have a queue for a trial, and it would be kind of hard, I guess, to pug for a trial unless everyone knew the content, because that is one area of the game where I mean, me and you know this from experience. We both played trials, and trials do have their difficult points, and a lot of people don't grasp that the elite mobs or the more advanced difficult mobs, the ones with like the little pips next to their health bars. It's like you see a boss and it has like the 3 pips or something, and I'm talking about the basic UI, because I know you use an add-on that changes your UI, so
yes,
you don't see the things I do. So
yeah.
now, how do you feel? That's one thing I want to ask you about. How do you feel about add-ons for the game?
Add-ons are definitely helpful. Like, for the longest time, I used to not run any add-ons
Mm-hmm.
just because I didn't want to obscure the quality of the game.
Right.
But then I started finally downloading a right amount, and
Right.
the quality of the game never really changed, except for with the UI.
Right.
Mainly because all I get is UI error every.
Yeah, I get a lot of those UI errors just with the 2 I run. And I mean, I do use add-ons and stuff, but I mean, like, here's a question I want to ask you. How do you feel about add-ons that do like the economy stuff?
Are you talking like pricing?
Pricing, the TTC, Guild Trader, that kind of stuff. I mean, there's some of them that I will admit are good, but like there are some that do. They don't grab. You were saying it earlier. What was it you said? I don't remember. It doesn't.
Oh, that it's not accurate.
Yeah, it's just not accurate, and it is true. You're right. Like you asked that guy in that price for that thing, and he told you 16,000 because that's what said, and it should send for 16 sales. If you're not going around with and going to every guild trader in the game, you're not going to get a definitive price on an item. You're only going to get the price of what you see from the other traders that you go to. And if you're focusing on traders in a certain area, you're only going to get those prices. And I think that's where a lot of people don't really use to its advantage. And it creates a lot of mispricing and things.
Well, that's the thing, is anybody could download it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it obscures the results. Is some people go to a couple, like you're saying. Some people, the more accurate ones are the ones that shop around.
Right. Well, I know TTC, I think is what it's called. It'll do based on all the prices in the game. Like, it will actually count all the sales in the game. And then it gives you a total based on that. And a lot of people that I've seen using that one, it seems more accurate for pricing than a lot of the others.
Yeah, I haven't really experienced that one.
Right. So besides those few things that you mentioned, I'll have to say this. The one thing I'd really like to see them add to the game, and I know a lot of people probably might not agree, is swimming underwater. That is one thing that this game I wish they would bring in, because there's so much in like Morrowind or Oblivion and in even Skyrim where you could go swimming underwater and find hidden caves or delves and stuff like that. And I think that's the one thing that this game is kind of lacking also.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that you can only float on top. You can't dive down.
I know, you're swimming across this lake and you can only swim on the surface. It's like, what's down below? How about, what about, would you like to see new world bosses added to the game? Or new, even, like you were saying, that, like 2-man things. Would you like to see more public dungeons that are geared, or even delves that are geared for more solo to small group play added?
Not really. I actually like how they do the public dungeons.
Yeah, same here.
Bosses. I think they scatter it out enough.
Right. But
And it's not, once you get up there in level anyways, the public dungeon, you can run solo anyway.
yeah. Well, I mean,
World bosses are a lot different.
yeah. Well, we both know what it's like for us in a normal dungeon. Because, I mean, me and you 2-man most normal dungeons anyways, because we're It's not because we're good players. It's just because we know the content and we know our characters so well that we work together really well when it comes to that. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you tank, I heal. I tank, you heal. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We we just know the content. And I do want to talk a little bit about the dungeon aspects of the game, because that is one area of the game that me and you, we experience it a lot. And it's, like when it comes to difficulty, would you like to see something like a really hard mode kind of thing, where like the whole dungeon's like a hard mode?
Instead of just the last boss.
Yeah, instead of just last boss.
Uh,
I mean, I don't know what Celine's
It'd be
web
kinda
on hard mode,
interesting.
he's already like one of those nerve-wracking things.
Yeah.
Because, she hits you with that bear form, and it's like, goodbye. She's like, bitch, please, get out of here.
I mean, there are a lot of things that they have changed around
Yeah.
that definitely made the game a lot better.
Yeah, well,
Like in the beginning, they did not have the dungeon fight.
yeah, they didn't have Dungeon Finder, and I remember that. I remember you would have to, like, shout out and zone and stuff, and it took forever to find groups for things sometimes.
Yeah. And even then, when it first came out, like, if you're not playing a tank or a healer,
Yeah.
you're still gonna be in that dungeon for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
But then they added the random,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of helped with that.
And then the group finder, of course, with the dungeons. They do. I do agree. Like, I think it'd be really cool if they had dungeon finder or trial finder thing. That would be kind of cool. And the 2-man trial concept is really cool too.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even have to add the vet trial
Right.
to the normal trial. That
Right.
way, at least everybody can
Right.
at some point.
Well,
Because I mean, I have been in a guild that ran trials,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of like, to me, it was unsettling because like they were a close group.
Yeah, it was.
So if they didn't know you, they wouldn't invite you.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask them, "Hey, can I run with you?" And then they'll be like, "Oh, sorry, we're full.
Mm-hmm.
We got somebody else."
It was already set. Their clique was already set for the group. So
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. We had that experience when we played EverQuest Online Adventures too. Remember, there was like certain guilds that wouldn't group with anybody when it came to certain content.
Yeah.
It was impossible. So.
Yeah.
So what about? Holy cow! My computer did that freak out thing because of that the new update to my virus scanner. So what about Morrowind? Are you excited for it?
Oh yeah. 'Cause Morrowind is where I started playing Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I remember.
And I spent a lot of time on it.
Well, you had what, like 1,800 hours into it?
I don't think I had that much. I think I had about 150,
150 only? I thought you had a lot more than that, because, dude, I remember you played that game a lot. Like,
Yeah.
you'd come home and play it all the time. But I was the same way. I mean, we spent a lot of time. And we'd do that thing where we'd go and send our characters in different areas, and we weren't allowed to go, like, with only a certain range and play.
Yeah, yeah, just because we got too used to the beginning area.
Yeah. And I mean, eventually we got to the point where we had most of the content memorized, where we could just go and get like the best gear and get the, I think I could complete the whole game in like 20 hours in the end. Like I could speedrun the whole game. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So is there anything?
Plus, it was kind of fun messing around with constant effect.
Yeah, the constant effect rings.
Yeah.
Like making a
Kinda
ring
like-
flying.
Yeah, well, I was messing around with it one time, and I put constant effect increase speed. And yeah, that was a bad idea.
Was that time that you like ran across the whole continent in like seconds?
Yeah, I hit the button for 2 seconds and then let go. And my guy ran. It took the game about 10, 15 seconds to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was across the map.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what kind of things are you hoping to see with Morrowind? I mean, like what places of the game that you remember do you want to go back and try and find or hope that they have in it?
Well, as far as like NPC wise, I would definitely say crab.
Your mud crab. I know you.
The mud crab.
Yeah, the mud crab is definitely one.
If they don't add that,
Yeah, that I mean, it will be sad because that was that was like one of the main things that you dealt with. I mean, you had only two merchants in the game that would sell or buy from you with high amounts of gold. It was the mud crab and that scamp in
Yeah,
in that one town in the tower or whatever.
yeah. But even then, something random like that, just some running along,
Mhm.
mud crab.
A
All of a sudden
talking
he's
mud
got,
crab.
yeah, he's got the most gold in the game.
Hmm. It'd be funny if you get there and you find this mud crab in a cave, and he's got like this huge treasure trove, and he's like, "Stay away from my gold." He's like Gollum, the
Yeah.
Gollum mud crab. My
My
precious.
gosh.
I mean, is there? I mean, besides that, I mean, was there anything else in Morrowind that you remembered that, like, I know myself, like personally, I would love to see Vivek again, and I know he's in the game, and that's going to be cool. But the other
Yeah.
one, the other character I want to see is remember the part of the story where they take you to meet the Dwemer, the last remaining Dwemer, and he's like got the
Kind of.
spider mechanical legs, and he's like real
Yeah.
fat. I hope that's in the game. I would like to see more. Like, I can't wait for it to get here. The Warden class is going to be phenomenal, too.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah. Well, we both know it's going to be cool.
It should be, but
It's
you
going to
never
be
know
cool,
until
but
it comes out. It'll be
until-
cool.
But it's going to be nice to get your hands on something new. I mean, we've been playing with the same four classes for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Uh, about 2 years.
About 2 years, yeah. So is there? I mean, besides the classes or the Morrowind itself and everything, is there something? Well, here I want to take you to a different question. What about? And I know this is a touchy subject for both of us, but how do you feel about like the meta right now?
Well, the meta, I completely understand the point.
Right.
The whole point of the meta, in my opinion, is training.
Is training?
Teaching you how to play the game when you're new.
Right.
And it does work. DPS, you can do a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of more annoying to me when you get into a dungeon and someone asks if you have this skill, and you're like, no, I don't.
And then
Why? How can you play without that skill?
yeah.
Because this setup doesn't take that.
Right.
Well, I'm a little bit more like you, leaning towards non-meta, just because it's so much funner to play it the
Right.
way you want to, and that's the whole background behind Elder Scrolls. is
Right.
You can customize your character to play the style you want.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I know me and you relate to a lot of this stuff. I mean, I understand the meta. I see why it's there. I understand the aspects of it. And I get the builds, and some of them are really cool. Like your ignition build that you play, even though it's a converted version on your Sork. It's really cool to see it in action. Because your character that build's gone through 3 iterations I know of since I've played with you.
Yeah.
And it's just like your tank here. Your tank's gone through quite a few changes from what you originally had, and
Right.
you were using the Bloodthorn helm set, wasn't it? The one that gives you the ultimate generation,
The Bloodspawn.
Bloodspawn, and then you switched to the Mighty Chuden because of the the total resistance thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, because I went with a completely different set of armor. Because originally I was running one of Deltia
Right.
tank builds,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked, and I understood it, and I could play it.
Mm-hmm.
But it just wasn't for me because I could not do solo content.
Right.
Just because I don't have the time to.
Right.
It'll take you 15 minutes to kill like these wasps.
Right. These wasps floating around out here.
That's just way too time consuming.
Right.
And then also, like, dungeons were just boring. I was running.
Yeah, I remember you telling me because you hated just standing there.
Yeah.
You just felt like you weren't
Yeah,
doing
'cause
anything.
I quit playing my tank when I had that build. Then I was talking to you, and then we started messing around with here,
And then you came up with this.
Yeah.
And this
And
is
then we came up with this new build. That's the main reason I'm wearing the Chuden set, is because the rest of the armor I don't gain any resistances from the rest of my sets.
yeah, it's all
So this compensates for it.
yeah, but you run the same almost setup that I do, but you're running two 5-piece sets. Um, you run the oh, he's coughing. I'll give him a second.
Yeah.
But you're running the Kvetchi's Gladiator with the Nightmare set, and
Yeah.
I can see how well that works for you, and it is really cool. Like the way our tanks are defer, like mine a Templar and yours a DK. But even when we're in groups together, like when you're healing for me, it's a it's like a whole nother game. And then when I'm tanking, when I'm healing for you, it's a different kind of thing. But it's the combination. I think a lot of it with us is we are organized. Like when we play together, me and you break down the dungeons and the we go through them to learn them, and then once we get a greater aspect of how they work, our builds just kind of meld into it, and we make them, like when we play what is that keep the ice keep one we hate,
Dire Frost.
Dire Frost. When we play that, it took us a while, and when I brought up using Major Defile, we noticed like how much of a difference that fight was then.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a huge difference. And then
Which even then, that fight, if you have a good group,
Mhm.
it's not that hard.
no, it's just you got to burn her down.
Yeah, if you're kind of got a group that's kind of low CP, doesn't really know
Yeah.
the dungeon for it's kind of a pain. But
Mm.
that
Yeah.
way that we figured out is even if you're running with a group that's not very experienced,
Yeah.
you could still complete it
Yeah.
fairly easy.
Fairly easy because you reduce her healing effects so much that it's like it's not even funny. And I thought that was really interesting the first time we used it, like how fast she dropped. And then like we were doing Dragon Star last night with Dolphin, and we went through and we figured out on that first boss, like, oh wait, we need Major Defile here because he's healing off that that ring of preservation or ring of protection, and that was the one thing that I have to say about Dragon Star Arena that blows my mind is how many abilities that they use from the different guilds, like the Fighters Guild guys. They're using Dawnbreaker. They're using that Circle of Protection. They're using the crossbow thing, the silver bolts, and it's like whoa, yeah, and it's something you don't see normally in the game. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's
that's the only one I've seen where they.
yeah. But like like me and you, like we know certain dungeons are super easy, like Vault of Madness. That thing's like a joke to us, kind of, because
I think you could sleep through it.
yeah, we can sleep through it.
It's still a cool dungeon, but it's
yeah.
so easy that you can sleep.
Right, and then and the funny thing is that that's one of the last dungeons in the game that you face. That's the one in Cold Harbor, and then you come here to like when we came to Craglorn, me and you and Darkchild, when we were running through here, it was you even said it's so much easier than what it was back before they did one Tamriel changes, and like it was so easy to just walk through this area. And I'm soloing content here, with my tank, and I'm like I never would have been able to solo this content before, at all.
I think that's the main reason they switched it around. That way they could get more traffic.
Yeah, more traffic.
Because it was starting to die down.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted.
Yeah, and now it's one of the most farmed, like one of the not farmed, one of the highest XP farming areas in the game now. What is it, Skyreach or whatever?
Yeah,
and I should shut up because we don't want the devs to change that. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about, or? I mean,
really.
We could really go on about anything. About
we could probably go on for a while.
Yeah,
I think that pretty much touches the subject.
Yeah, what we want to talk about. So. But yeah, I mean, me and Killermech could go on for hours. We do, which is funny because we talk about the game all the time when we're playing. So, but yeah, I mean, thanks for coming and hanging out with me and talking about the game. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no problem.
And if you guys are interested in wanting to see more, to see more videos like this, I do plan on doing more collabs with other people. It's just a matter of their time, and it's like trying to get all the Killermech it's he has a certain time frame which he can play, and I have to contact him at those time frames. So, but yeah, that's it for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the like button. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more videos by me, hit the subscribe button. Other than that, there's not a whole lot I can say. You know, I try to do my best. If you guys want to see more videos, though, come around and check my channel out every once in a while. I try to keep videos up, you know, so often. Try to do it daily, but of course I'm not perfect. And that's it for now. So until next time, have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me on Let's Talk Today. Bye.